Everyone alive came out of the womb of a woman. We all know that a mother's love is unrivaled. Your dad, I mean, unless your dad is some kind of a, I don't know, an angel that could perhaps match your mom's love to you, it's difficult. It obviously is. You have some very very sweet dads with that very very nurturing love, and they're more in touch with the female aspect, the feminine aspect. But I mean, a mother's love is often unrivaled, right? Often there's a tendency that a mother's love is just like, come on, it's your mom. Like, I know my mom, everything we disagree on, all the things that I embarrass the family with, uh, she still loves me because it's in her, this nurturing feminine female principle. Now we all as human beings came out of the earth, which is a woman. This planet is a female. Some planets are male, predominantly male. Some planets are predominantly female. This one here is predominantly female. It's predominantly a female planet, and so we call her Mother Gaia. We call her Mother Gaia. And so we're on a woman. We are housed by a woman here. We are in the house of a woman. We live on the body of a woman. We came from her, we shall return from her as human beings, not as consciousness. Consciousness goes on, right? But as human beings in this experience, we come from the mother, we shall return to the mother. And because the mother now is saying, I want to go to the next level, which is fourth chakra, which is heart, that the heart chakra it's a feminine chakra. It's a loving chakra. It's a feminine chakra. It's not about power. Hey, we're in 3D right now, going to 4D. Solar plexus, that's masculine energy. That's masculine energy. You see? Power. That's masculine. Now that's the consciousness that is being ascended now by the planet and by everyone on it. So we're all essentially, anybody that's going to make it to the next level is becoming more of a feminine, more of a woman actually. I feel that the more I am in touch with my higher calling, the more I am appreciative of art and dance and beauty, which are all things, they're feminine, they're feminine energy. Art, creativity is feminine. You see, creativity is feminine. It's feminine. And I find the more I am in touch with the higher aspects of myself, my higher mind, the more I am in total honor and respect of the feminine principle, the more I am in awe of it, actually. Because it is the next level now. The heart chakra moving upwards from the solar plexus, which is masculine, dominant, assert, moving up to the feminine. Now, an interesting thing happens is once you move up into the fifth even, it sort of goes back into more of a masculine archetype, but now it's like it's wisdom, right? It's the lighter side. It's more of, so it's almost like a dance, right? So now the dance goes from the solar plexus, which is usually negative masculine energy, now moving to the heart chakra, to the feminine energy, the female energy, the love, the nurturing. I love you, unconditional love. Okay, I love you, I accept you, I embrace you. Doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, I don't want to judge you, I love you. Feminine. So now that this is the part where where consciousness is moving on this planet, then actually our women here are basically the leaders for this change that we actually need. I mean, for example, most people in the vegan community, I'm speaking about like those who are doing it out of compassion for the planet, for the animals. Most of them are women. Makes sense. Even South Park made a jab on that. I was watching an episode just recently, and they make fun of everybody, and I love it. And they were making fun of vegans, and what was it? Which one? It was recent, actually. Oh yeah, it was the last season. Yeah. South Park is always up to date with everything. And so in the school cafeteria, they decide now to serve vegan food or very vegan-friendly food, and they replace the meat with like, vegan alternatives or something. And then Cartman gets pissed, obviously, and his first instinct was the girls must be behind it, which is true. Yeah, the girls were behind it. They were the ones that asked for the vegan-friendly options because the women, they're just naturally more nurturers, more caretakers, more compassionate. And since this is the part where now consciousness moves towards in this planet, then it is actually the women here that are leading the change for this new consciousness, for this new way of being, for this new vibration, for this new fourth density heart chakra based existence and perception of the world. So yeah, it makes sense. It really makes sense, and I find it necessary to I don't find it necessary. I feel when I am here, I mean, I've been hanging out here for what, 3-4 hours here, like just here in this area, right? Doing my thing, my meditation, my walking. This is like my sanctuary, right? Nobody comes here. It's like an isolated place. I could be loud, I chant, whatever, blah, blah. And I just find myself like in such reverence of Gaia. I start to bow down and I start to sort of kiss the ground and really feel like, wow. And that's sort of, I naturally find myself now gravitating towards honoring and respecting and embracing the feminine principle, because it is now time for the feminine principle to rule on this planet. The masculine principle has been ruling in its shadow side. The masculine principle has been ruling now for some time. And it's been destructive because it's been running in its shadow side. It's been destructive. It's been dismissive of others and assertive in a negative way. And it's been just power obsessed. And now it is time for the feminine principle of the heart chakra to rule. It is time for that feminine principle to become the predominant principle, actually. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Now, if you're identified with being a man, you're gonna find this difficult to swallow. But if you're identified with being God, consciousness, which is neither male nor female, neither masculine nor feminine, then you simply see this from a totally observational standpoint. Because you know what the next step for consciousness is? The fifth density, which is the throat chakra, which is wisdom, which is actually more of a masculine principle. So the pendulum continues to swing, because remember, God is neither male nor female, neither masculine nor feminine. God is both and neither at the same time. Consciousness, it just is. It is genderless. It is eternity. It cannot be defined. It's the shapeless and the formless. And so if you look at it objectively, you say, well, then the next step would actually be to introduce more of the masculine principle, which is wisdom. And you see this a lot too, the archetypes. You see like the archetype of the wise man and then the really compassionate woman. It's really beautiful, because at the higher chakras you get the lighter side, the lighter aspects of the female and the male, the feminine and the masculine. So when we move to the fifth D, which is wisdom, which is more of a masculine quality, it's more of a masculine quality, right? It's more of the masculine aspect of things. More like, wisdom sort of, it's assertive, like you say something and it's wise and everybody's like, yeah, like it just asserts itself. Wisdom asserts itself, but that's the light, because now it's with compassion. It's already gone through the darker aspects of itself. Now it's refined itself into the lighter aspects. So you see, wisdom it's got an assertive quality. Wisdom. You hear some wisdom and you're put in your place. You're like, whoa, that was powerful. It's got that masculine aspect. So if you're a male identified with being a man, oh God, we're being emasculated here. We're being, oh my God, the world is like, no, that's just the natural stages of consciousness now. The world is now moving towards a more feminine expression. It's moving more towards, and the planet we live on is a female. And she's had enough of that solar plexus bullshit. And she wants to have all of her children now love each other and embrace one another. She wants to support that type of consciousness. And then from there on, we move to the higher ones, where now a healthier aspect of the masculine energy can come in again to balance, because we are moving, by the way, to an overwhelmingly feminine world. It needs to happen that way for the pendulum to for the balance to reestablish itself. Think about it. All this power obsession and killing and pillaging for what, thousands of years? That's the masculine, the shadow side of the masculine, just pushing so much. So now, of course, the pendulum is all the way here. Well, we need to swing it back. So we need some pushing here. We need lots of compassion, lots of love, lots of nurturing, and you know, all the feminine aspects of creation and consciousness. So yeah, we do need to go this way, and then now with this compassion and love, we could have a balance. The wisdom can come in and balance the pendulum so that it's right in the middle. Okay, so I say we embrace that. As men, as women, we embrace the feminine side of ourselves. We embrace that the world is indeed moving to a more feminine vibration. That the women right now should be really revered and admired and respected and honored as goddesses. Goddesses. Because they're the ones that are needed the most in this time. Really, you look at all the women in your life as goddesses. And they're the ones that, I mean, anybody who incarnated as a woman, anybody who's a woman right now, I mean, still the world is predominantly 3D. It's predominantly still power and solar plexus, right? It's tough, man. Like, it's tough being a woman. I get that. I got that every time I took shrooms, because when you're shrooms, you're God, you're everyone. I was just like, wow, it's so difficult to be a woman in this world. Because the way the world has been set up now, the vibration it's been in, it's a man's world. Much easier to be a man here than a woman. The world is set up to support being a man, because, you could just, you don't have that nurturing aspect in you, biologically wired. So you could shrug off, you could shrug off stepping on other people's toes. You have less compassion and empathy naturally due to your biological incarnation, to your biological vehicle. Okay? So it is difficult, man. Like every time, I swear, every time I did shrooms, I'm just like, wow. Thinking of my mom, thinking of my sisters. Like, wow. The one trip where I was like the most shaking one, it was like 6 grams in darkness, in like the woods. The first people that I called were my sisters, because I'm like, wow, I felt how much they suffer, especially the women living in the Middle East. It's hard being a woman here. It is very difficult. And so I really think all women should be just looked at as goddesses, and they're the ones that actually we need now to make this change, to push for this change into the heart chakra, and embrace the inner woman in you, embrace the inner female in you, without relinquishing your masculine responsibilities as a man. Because you just refine it, make it light. As a man, you're the wisdom provider. So if you and I know we're putting people in roles and stuff like that here. Wisdom, again, love is more associated with nurturing and like a feminine thing, and then wisdom is more associated with assertiveness and so it's more of a masculine quality, right? As a man, if you want to bring the light aspect of you, work on wisdom, really. Work on wisdom. And that's your wisdom is knowing that this is where the world is going, and that actually women should be highly esteemed and highly revered at this specific part of existence and evolution. Remember, you're neither a man nor a woman, right? As playing as a role as a man, you still honor that. Honor the masculine energy. I know for me, I am still predominantly a masculine energy. I know this. I am it. I am the masculine energy. Even the way I walk, it's very the way I walk is like very masculine. It's like you can almost look at me and be like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? You know? I have a masculine oriented energy. I understand this. I know this. I'm not saying, all right, cut your balls off and stop being a man and stop asserting yourself. Not asserting yourself. Stop being independent, because that's the quality of the masculine, is independent. Not at all. Not at all. You play the role of the male. Most males are masculine, predominantly masculine energy. And this is just simply, I mean, what does a bird do? A bird sings and flies. A bird doesn't swim in the ocean. In the same way, when we take on these male and female roles, there are certain ways in which the Tao is programmed in it that acts in a certain way, and it is just the way it is. So when you're incarnated in a female body, there's just certain things you're gonna gravitate towards. And when you're in a male body, and it's, there's more of a masculine energy, certain things you're more gravitated towards. As a male, you're going to gravitate more towards independence and independent thinking, which often leads to wisdom, which is why I say wisdom is more of a masculine quality. Because it's independence, which is more of a masculine quality, leads to independent thinking, which leads to wisdom. And if you notice right now in the world, most of our wisdom givers are men. And most of our nurturers and caregivers are women. Notice it right now. Think of the wisest people you can think of. They're mostly men. They're mostly most gurus and great teachers are men. Again, independence, because if you're in a male body, you have more of a masculine energy. You tend to think more in independent terms. So if you go in the light side of it, you're the wisdom. You can provide the wisdom. Then the woman programmed in a way to nurture, and so the biology supports this love, this desire to serve others, right? So you think also most of our caregivers, caretakers in the world, that you saw a lot of times behind the charities that are supporting like poor people or feeding, you'll see there's usually a woman. It's just the way it is. It's a beautiful dance, beautiful dance. And right now the world needs both. Okay? The world needs both. It needs wisdom and compassion. It needs more of compassion right now than wisdom. The best wisdom right now is compassion, because the world has just been in a big mess. What it needs to go to for density is compassion. So we need more of a feminine, more women, essentially. More nurturers, more compassion, more empathy is what is needed most on this planet, with wisdom playing in the background to support it. Then we will, once we shift into 4 density and it's full of compassion and love, then we will need more wisdom. Right now it actually isn't so much wisdom that we need, okay, because there isn't even many people that are even gonna be able to hear the wisdom. There's much more love and compassion needed right now. So much suffering. So actually wisdom is seeing that that's what we need more of at the moment to balance things out. Okay, so that's why I say embrace the women in your life. Look at them as goddesses. Feel how difficult it is to be a woman right now. I needed a few trips to fully comprehend it, because I was such an asshole before. I was such an asshole. I needed a few psychedelic trips to comprehend it. I became my mom in one of the trips. I gave my birth to Saeed, and I saw the suffering, and I saw how she suffered growing up as a woman in the Middle East. I cried for an hour. I needed the psychedelic to sort of, because the psychedelic is female also. The mushroom is a female, and so is Lucy. And so that's the wisdom. That's the wisdom here. The wisdom is to see that actually, wisdom just needs to be running in the background right now. It's love and compassion, so it's the feminine energy. More art, more creativity, more dancing, more spontaneity, right? That's all feminine principles. So yeah, honor the goddesses in your life. If you're a woman watching this, I honor you. I honor you as a goddess. And yeah, let's keep rolling with this ascension process. And yeah, I think just one other thing I wanted to again emphasize on is, if you're a male, then just work on, and you feel that your masculine energy is predominant in the expression of you, then just continue to work on on that. Continue to lighten it up. Don't fall into the shadow side of it. And pretty soon you're likely going to become one of the wisdom givers in this world. Because if you're, again, the main quality of the masculine is independence, which leads to independent thinking, and hopefully if that's with the right guidance, it can lead to wisdom. Okay? And of course, it's all tendencies. Don't mistake it as, oh, a woman can't give wisdom and a man can't give love. No, no, no. Okay? Not at all. In fact, if the balance, the sixth density, is the balance of love and wisdom. So actually, that's sixth chakra, that's third eye. So actually, a balanced consciousness is totally like 50-50 balance in love and wisdom. Okay? That I feel like I'm trying to do that here, actually. I feel like I am trying to balance wisdom and love. That's one of the things I'm here to do also, to work on myself, is to be like that fine balance of love and wisdom. So actually, you want to be like love and wisdom. Buddhists say this a lot. Love, the sacred, they call it the sacred marriage of compassion and wisdom. That actually the 6D is that balance. That the next level of the game for consciousness would be that fine balance between. So you can be a woman and provide the world with immense wisdom and immense love, all equally too. And you can be a man and provide the world with wisdom, pure wisdom, and like so much love that you would embarrass most of the women on the planet, because it's like you're just so nurturing, and yet provide like this super high wisdom. So that's actually, if you're looking to even go to the next level, that's actually the point you want to be at. Okay, so just to make it clear for everybody here, not trying to stereotype anyone, because the highest level of the game is like you're pure light. You're actually shapeless and formless. There's no form to contain you. There's nothing, not a label. Okay? So I put that out there. Just there's no misunderstandings here. And thank you to the Patreons for your consistent and constant support on this channel. And I love you guys. I really appreciate all the love, all the comments, all the support, the financial support. The more support we have, I'm already thinking, for future plans to bring us together on ground. The more support we have on Patreon, long term, the more we could do. $2 a month is the minimum and is pretty reasonable, right? So links in the description if you would like to do that. Saeed Mobaid on Instagram. I'd love to get in touch. I'd love to talk. I'll do my best to respond to all of you guys on Instagram, and I like it's more personal and intimate. And yeah, that's about it. Until next time, may the force be with you.